Hey, welcome along to the BBQ Talk Show. My name's Matt.
My name's
and
Ryan.
this man over here is Ryan. Coming up on tonight's show, we'll be speaking to Jesus. He's here to tell us all about his travels, food influences, and social media, plus a good bit of fun, some chat and the odd beer. First, forward from our show supporters. The Rusty Barbecue Company brings us an exclusive 10% on all of his products on the website. Meter 15% worldwide on all of their products, and Globaltic, who have teamed up with us to bring us 10% off of quality birch charcoal. We also have a little bit of a favor to ask of you guys. If you can, and you are an Apple user, if you can go onto the Apple Podcasts platform, give us a 5-star rating and a little review. And instead of using like a review as in, oh, these guys are great, we want to know if you put in the review the last thing you cooked on your pit. That way we can go through the comments in there or the reviews and see what people are cooking. And it also helps us go up the ladder in Apple Podcast. Again, same thing for some of the others. If you can, just rate, share, do the lot. That would be greatly appreciated. Thank you very much. How have you been, Ryan?
I've been really good, brother. To be honest, it's been fantastic. Last Friday was epic. I know he was off, so I apologise for that. Also, I must apologise for the last podcast. Totally my bad. If you listen, I've re-edited it. It's going to be uploaded tomorrow morning, so you'll be able to listen to it without the big gap. There are voices there. Unfortunately, I forgot to double check it, so it's my bad. Full apologies.
Meh. So be it. These things happen, don't they? You know.
Yeah, it was good. It was nice to have a week off last week. Beautiful sunny weather. You popped down to the headquarters.
I was gonna get to that bit, you know. Popped over, didn't I? Had a little bit of a social thing going on with work. I guess people are now able to go and see people in the UK with COVID. So I don't know, nearly 2 years in, not seeing my colleagues, we decided that we were going to go to Bletchley Park and become code breakers. You know, being in IT and all of that. It's something my colleagues suggested. I wanted to go to Silverstone and do the Silverstone Museum. They were all game for that until Bletchley Park came up. So, well. But, I mean, at least we got a good picture out of it. You know, look at all of those lovely London sights and the Barbecue Talks logo. You know, I think that looks pretty good for our first meeting.
More to the point, look at that burning hunk of love to the left, mate. That's all I'm saying. You know, I look fine, but you don't look too bad yourself, mate, to be honest.
I'm not sure about that. Well, I certainly looked a lot better after those chicken wings that you cooked up. They were special.
Yeah, it was. Uncle Steve's shake on them.
Yeah, I'm reinventing new ways of eating chicken wings was quite fun. You know, your hot sauce with more Uncle Steve shake on top.
Yeah, it was banging. Good stuff. You know, really, really good. Who we got in the chat today? Have you had a look? Oh, so we got Daddy Judge, howdy Kent, how you doing? Smokey Joe, how you doing? Thanks for joining. We also have Square Table Degenerates podcast. Go check them out. They've got a fantastic channel. Interview all sorts of interesting people. So please do take a look. Obviously as well, Daddy Dash Barbecue on YouTube and Smokey Joe as well on Instagram. So please go take a look at those guys as well. We may as well get into this interview. Why, as we're here, you know, the main event.
Absolutely. So yeah, this week our guest is Jesus. He is here, waiting in the green room for us. Very interested in, hopefully, in a very informative chat about all sorts of good food. His YouTube channel called Pitmaster on the Way, Instagram, and I think we spotted a TikTok, maybe. One of those crazy little things. Who knows? Well, let's ask the man himself.
Let's get him
in. How are you, mate?
Hey, hello, buddies.
Hey, how you doing?
How's
Thanks for
things?
coming
Good, good. Thank you. How about you?
Do you know, really good. Do you know the first thing that gets me is that it's 10 o'clock at night where you are currently, and it's still like 12 o'clock in the day for me.
Yeah,
Like
man.
it's sunshine. That's crazy. It
Yeah, it's
blows my
fantastic.
mind.
Yeah, I gotta say I love it. It's one of the benefits of living here.
on.
Of
Absolutely.
course, don't think of the downside when it's winter. Oh boy, dark all day. That's
What
tough.
I suppose you've got to take the good with the bad, haven't you?
Yeah, yeah. Not easy,
So
gotta
what-
say.
When
Yeah,
will
go
the
ahead.
sun actually? Oh, sorry. I'm like, oh yeah, I forgot it's really light over there. What time will the sun actually go down? Like, would it get dark
Well,
at
at this time of
midnight
the
or?
year, we're very, very close to the like midsummer. So maybe we get like couple of hours nighttime that is dark, but then it's just light all the time. I mean, you can just go out and pretend it's the morning.
Nice.
Yeah,
So
that's very nice.
so you'd probably suggest then coming over if I wanted to top up my tan.
Ooh, well, if you want to come here, I say come in the summer. You don't want to be here in the autumn.
No.
That's nasty stuff.
Get a good sort of 16, 17 hours worth of daylight, I should imagine. So.
Yeah. Yeah.
Definitely.
No,
Good
let's
stuff.
just rock.
There he is, the main man. So, tell us a little bit about yourself. Well, in fact, let's just ask some questions. You're originally from Venezuela, is that right?
Yeah, that's right.
Tell us a little bit about how it was growing up in Venezuela, food, and sort of the restaurants over there. What sort of
Yeah.
give us a little
Yeah,
insight.
Sure. So I'm just gonna tell you about the food influence there. I guess your guys not so interested to know about my childhood at school. But yeah, so I grew up in a family where we were always related to like the business or like food business. My mother had a cafeteria on her own. My father had a restaurant as well, and even since I was 8 years old, I was helping there one way or another. So I've always been related, and my brother, as such, I think he has like this cook talent. It's like something he carries within. He even went to like a chef school and so on. So he was the one leading the whole thing, and we started to chicken at home, and it was just my brother. He was the one doing all the job, and I was just watching and enjoying the good food. And I gotta say that when I got to this barbecue thing recently, then I started to realize what kind of style we really have back there in Venezuela. When I discovered like this American way of barbecuing, and then now here in Finland, then I read more, and I have to say that it was like a relatively simple there. The barbecue, you let the meat do the talking. You don't bother so much with how you spice it up, or okay, how you cook it. Well, that takes a little bit of merit, but the whole thing is the quality of the meat, and you just go with salt and pepper, and that gets job done. So I think that is like, how to put it, like the main thing in Venezuela. Just big amounts of cuts, a lot of meat and salt and pepper, and yeah, I think that.
So, what would you
describes
say is the most commonly eaten protein over there? Would you say is it beef? I'm presuming, or is it pork or?
Beef. One like disclaimer: Venezuela is going through a like horrible financial crisis. It's like a chaos there. So I'm referring like to the time when I was a child, and that was like the normal Venezuela.
Absolutely.
Beef.
Well, this is what we got. This is what we're talking about, isn't it? You sort of time growing up in Venezuela, and then
so beef, even though it was like a expensive in one way, it was still affordable to all families.
Mhm.
So we have good abundance of beef.
It's like a very similar story with like the Argentinian way of cooking is, like you say, salt and pepper and let the meat do the talking. And again, beef being their main produce that they use. Obviously, I guess it's all part of South America that uses that kind of sort of way of cooking. But I guess there's probably differences in the way, different cuts and things like that between, you know, Venezuela and Argentina.
Yeah. At least one of the most common cuts there is the picanha. You know,
Lovely.
yeah, it's just amazing. It was one of my favorites. I didn't know its name until I actually joined this barbecue trend, you know. And yeah, they like to do it like the Brazilian way. You know, you cut it like in those small pieces, you put it in a skewer, and you grill it, and yeah, that's just terrific.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Picanha is a
damn
beautiful
good
cut
stuff.
of beef.
Oh yeah.
I'm sitting there going,
so nice.
I'm salivating just thinking about it now. So, oh dear.
Oh man,
Maybe I should have had something
terrific.
more food before doing
And
that.
you know, one very funny thing is that my family, we like protein. Let's put it that way. So when we grill, of course, you have a little bit of salad and like, you know, the side dishes. But when it comes to the meat as such, we would have like these thick steaks. You take as much as you want. Then you would have like pork chops, and I like blood sausages. They were there as well. So you know, it's like 80% of the plate was just meat. Dang, I miss those days.
I still have those days now.
Oh,
the only salad is still growing on the trees. That stuff doesn't make it to my plate. I might have vegetables and meat, but the salad that's left for the cows. The cows need that to make good beef. See,
yeah,
not putting it on my plate.
Yeah, they're doing the job for you.
No, absolutely. Yeah. So types of food that you cook on a regular basis. What sort of things do you like to cook?
Are we talking about like right now or back at, like in Venezuela?
I guess a bit of a mix of both. So start with what you know back home, and then what you cook now.
Yeah, sure. So of course back home, in Venezuela we eat a lot of rice. So that is like by default the side dish, and it comes as well with black beans, or we could have like these fried bananas. There's a name I just don't remember what it is in English. It's like a very sweet. So those are the side dishes. Yeah, and the protein, as I said, is always beef. Like the what was more affordable was the minced meat, of course, but then we very often had like these thin steaks, like thin ribeyes and things like that. So now, at least now that I'm living in Finland, the reality is different. Here, the meat is way expensive, and if you want quality, you really have to pay for it. So, for home, when I'm taking care of my two daughters and so on, I cook like very basic stuff, you know, like very very simple food, something that goes along with the culture here in Finland. But when I'm the one grilling, well, I always have this mindset: am I grilling for my family or for me? If it's for my family, I know I have to play safe. You know, I cannot play with so much smoke flavor or experiment that much. But if it's for me, at least this summer I'm into ribs, trying to improve my ribs game. So quite often I have those.
Oh wow!
So how with the ribs game then? So what have you done so far to improve or change?
Well, you know,
what you do with your ribs.
When I started, you know, with the ribs, I started by playing simple, just salt and pepper. Try not to, how to say it? Trying not to like disguise the flavor. But then when I started to see all these American things, I got some products from United States, and I'm testing them, like Blues Hawk barbecue sauce and so on.
Yep.
So that's what I'm experimenting. Where the limit is, because here in Finland you see people like very simple thing. It belongs to their culture. If you come to eat Finnish food, you might find it tasteless, but the reason is that people like to taste the ingredients as they are. So they don't put much salt, they don't put much pepper, they don't even use much oil. So it's like very basic. So yeah.
So you're going to try and change that and start a new movement in Finland, or you're going to.
Sorry, I'm laughing, but Daddy Dutch barbecue, man, that was hilarious. That comment.
Are you aware? I presume. Well, I hope that that Ken hasn't played some sort of terrible joke on me. I presume you must have seen his pork butt video. I presume that's what he's talking about, or maybe
yeah, you got that right.
No, that's good.
I might have left a comment there.
Cool.
It wouldn't be the first time you've been caught out, though, is it, Ryan? with random fake comments.
As soon as I put it up, I thought, "Oh God, why not?"
You gotta give some credit to him. That was a good one.
That man knows how to cook.
He certainly does. He's pulling in some decent trophies at the moment over there. He's doing good.
Yeah.
Kudos to you, Kent.
Absolutely. Being like, one of the masterminds behind some of Uncle Steve's shakes, or at least helping Uncle Steve produce some of his competition rubs.
Oof.
If you have a shopping list, then I would suggest putting that one at the top. We can certainly vouch for Uncle Steve's shake. Look, it's finally arrived. This delivery only took maybe 7 months to get to you, but it was hand delivered with love.
Yeah, and it was received with love, and we actually had a cook and a natter, so that was fantastic.
Yep. Absolutely. Sorry, sidetrack things a little bit.
Yeah, sorry. Cider just rocked up. How you doing, Cider? Welcome along, dude. So we've looked at what you've been cooking over there and the experience. So you sort of basically touched on a little bit of your first experience of barbecue food over there with the salt and pepper and stuff like that. Did you actually start cooking over there, or was that something that developed later on?
If I'm very honest with you, I didn't cook there. Like I started, frankly speaking, grilling on my own here in Finland when I bought my gas grill. That's how I started to take the lead. But the whole barbecue thing started when in Venezuela I saw something called a Chinese box. I don't know if it sounds familiar. It's like this type of box, or I think they call it like roasting box, where you have the coals on top, and then there is like a layer, and underneath usually they have like a whole pig, and then you just cook it like that. And I saw that thing for the first time in my cousin's house, and they were just talking like, hey, this is amazing. And I said to myself, like, okay, now I need to know what the hell is this. So I started reading. Then I started to know what it was. Yeah, La Caja China, that is the right name. Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
C-Mac, man of many names. He knows he knows a lot. Good old C-Mac.
He certainly does. He's got a lot of good gadgets, I'll tell you that much. I like that. What's that one? He melts the. Oh, it's a really funny name. It's like a something womble, not a cock womble. He melts it's used for melting bone marrow on stuff. It looks really cool. Anyway, I digress. Sorry. Yeah. So
no worries. Yeah. So that's when I, frankly speaking, started reading, paying more attention. While my brother was cooking, and he did some catering as well. So then I started learning, okay, how are you lighting the coals? Why are you putting it one way or another?
Mm.
And then of course, when I moved to Canada and I saw one of the relatives I was living with grilling when the temperature was like minus, I don't know, 15 or something, tons of snow, super cold. He's like, yeah, I get the job done. I got this kick in, like, this is my thing. Like, I have to get my hands on this.
Nice.
Yeah.
So what are you? Oh, go on.
No, go. I was just about to have a sip. I was going to say, once the bug
I was
bites
gonna
you,
s-
there's no way back.
Yeah, nice. So what sort of things are you cooking on now then? What gear have you got?
Like right now as we speak. Yeah, well, I have
kit
like
have
my
you got?
charcoal grill. I don't actually know. Can you guys see it? Should be.
Just about.
Oh, yeah, just over your shoulder.
That is
Yep.
actually the offset.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Nice,
And
actually.
right there in the back, that one is my
Yep.
charcoal grill.
Mm-hmm.
And I have a couple also in the garage. I have another Weber in the garage, and I have now one like Santa Maria grill coming that I got as a
Ooh, nice.
cooperation job. So
Yeah.
That's on my want list. A nice
Santa
one,
Maria.
So yeah.
I go quite nicely in the corner of your in your shack. Look good.
Yeah.
Next to your hot plate.
Yeah.
I might have to have a bit of a redevelopment at the back, but it'll look good. Take down that Wendy house that you got and just big barbecue shack.
I've got plans.
Oh,
yeah, but not yet.
I'll have to plan my visit another time.
Yeah, so that's my gear at the moment. I think it's like, within the acceptable limit in my family. Every day we have this discussion. Do you have too many grills? And I say, hey, that question is not allowed in this house.
Good. I haven't yet reached the you're not allowed any more grills statement yet, but I am on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 5 now. So there's no more room in the shack, which is a shame. I managed to pick up a generator for the shack now, so I don't have to run my big extension cable out. Not sure whether it's quite sort of so good with the petrol generator running in the background while you're trying to cook. It's a little bit distracting. Just turn the volume up on the outdoor speakers.
Yeah, because that's not going to piss your neighbours off at all, is it? A generator going with a loudspeaker. That's
Your problem is their problem. Then.
Look, exactly. As long as I keep them fed, they're fine with it.
Trails and trails of smoke and a generator running with loud music. Oh, joy!
What is that noise?
Oh, well, I'm firing up the Traeger at 4 a.m.
I'm not that antisocial. I would most definitely put the cable out if it was sort of that time in the morning.
Sorry.
To be fair, I'd wake them up. They'd smell the Traeger going anyway, wouldn't they? Bellowing out smoke first thing in the morning. So. Yes.
Funny thing, that's how I got to know my neighbors, because I moved to this house. I think it was 1.5 years, and I got my offset as soon as I moved to this detached house. It was first thing I got. Actually, wife got it. But the whole point was that one day I woke up, I think around 3 or 4 in the morning, and I just, light it up. And one of the neighbors was leaving early to work. And when he saw me, he was like, "What in the world are you doing? Are you burning something there?" And that was the first conversation.
Yeah.
No, I am making good food in my offset.
Yeah. I was still trying to figure out how it works, but for other people, it looked like I knew what I was doing. But now I know I didn't know.
Well, it's almost like a realization, isn't it? Once you get it going properly and clean, and it's like I don't know. It is almost sort of like once you get you learn your pit and you get it running and you start to cook your meat properly, you realize it's almost an epiphany moment. You're just like, that's it. Because once you know it, it's like, well, yeah, it's not that complicated, but it's just a question of learning your pit and knowing how to run stuff and all of that good stuff, fire control and or knowing when to turn the switch on, whatever.
Yeah.
Look at your
but until then, you got to fake it until you make it.
Yeah.
It's another little jab at my technology, isn't it? It's not going to go away, Ryan. It's only going to get worse.
I'm sure it will. Yeah,
I'm pretty sure I'm going to have a robot out there at one stage doing it for me, just wheeling it into the house and being like, "Right, it's done. Thanks very much, Johnny Five. Nice. Stay alive."
Hey, if you develop something like that, please remember to, send me an info. I might be one of the first buyers.
Absolutely. That's it. Little Johnny Five back in the kitchen. Awesome
so let's bring this back round a bit to the interview where it's supposed to be. Obviously, we've got limited time, so we've got to be quite on point. So you mentioned you went up to Canada. Now, so let's sort of like move down to that section. So we're in Canada, and you're sort of living there for a little while. Like, did you, for a small amount of time, did you get to try any decent Canadian barbecue or check out any sort of like food over there, or nothing that?
No, not really. I mean, I checked like the traditional dishes, or like the most common ones. But I was staying with this family who had Italian background, so they were actually like teaching me how you actually do the Italian pasta, what is like good pasta, what is not. So it went more on that side. So it was
things to know. Good
pasta.
Good pasta.
That's not a bad thing to learn, is it? Pastas and Italian dishes, they are always a good winner.
Yeah, and frankly speaking, I didn't know what Italian pasta was. I mean, we have eaten pasta back in Venezuela, so I thought I knew. But then when this person came, my host mother, and she's like, no, nothing that you buy from supermarket. I made my own sauce. This one has been here, I don't know, like she made it like the year before or something. She's like, we're eating this. I was like, yeah, sure, bring it on. And then it was so simple yet delicious. Like, can't really describe it, So, yeah, that was very good.
Yeah.
It's almost like you can taste the sort of it being passed down from generation to generation. It's got that something special in it when somebody's got their own recipe, and it's not something that's just I've made it up. You can like the Italians, everything's passed down from generation to generation. So. But you can taste that
definitely tell.
Yeah, for sure. All of like any what you generally find, like I've got one of my best mates is Italian. What you generally find is genuine Italian food is so simple. You might only have maybe 3 or 4 ingredients, but so fresh and so tasty. It's just like,
yes, I think fresh is the right attribute to their food. It's just very nice.
You don't need any whistles or bells on it because the ingredients, they just knock you out of the water.
Don't they? Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So coming back to this barbecue, that was a little bit of a shame that while I was in Canada, I really didn't get to try their style. I just ate like normal grill food, steaks on a gas grill, corn, potatoes in the grill, that kind of thing. Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with that.
It's
all simple stuff.
Well, that was the first time I realized that, hey, not everybody eats like tons of meat when they grill, like there's also room for the side dishes. when
Absolutely.
they got there. I remember this was like emblematic time for me. They had 2 ribeyes, decent size, and then I did the count. I was like, what? There are 6 people here, 2 ribeyes. What's going on here? And then they just cut it like into small pieces. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then I started seeing everybody on the table, putting the salad, the potatoes, you name it. And I was like, hey, something's going wrong now. And then I realized, so this is for everybody. All right. All right. I'm definitely not at home.
I'm like that. I just go crazy with the meat. I used to be. That was all I ever used to cook, was just meat. And the wife would then do the side dishes.
Yeah.
But now it's
sounds
more
familiar.
Yeah, now it's like, do you know what? Let's make some side dishes, and I'll overcook meat, as I'll cook too much to make side dishes for the next time.
All right.
So so like pulled pork, I'll do pulled pork.
Yeah.
Or I did beef. No, I didn't. What did? Yeah, beef short rib, but shredded it and then throw it through mac and cheese.
Oh boy!
With some panko breadcrumbs on it. It was amazing. Yeah. So I've certainly opened up my eyes a little bit more with side dishes. Can really sort of up your game. And some of them are just so simple, you just don't think about it. Like potatoes, for example, you chuck them straight in the coals. Just let them go for for whatever you're cooking first. Let them almost bake in their own skin and pull them back out, and they're done. You've just got that incredible flavor from having the charcoal embers all on the bottom, and just
I agree with you. I guess we all develop the taste, as we move on.
That's it. That's just used to just doing all of the meat. That's it. Sausages. I guess back in the day I was very, very much a griller, and now it's a bit of everything. But grilling's when you've got like a short amount of time, an hour or so for dinner, and then when you want to have a good cookout, that's when all the others come out. The big boy grills.
Sounds familiar.
Yeah. So what have you cooked on that offset then? I'm intrigued to know what sort of things you've cooked on it.
Well, I mean, I have cooked like pretty much all types of meat. I have chicken. I've had turkey, beef, pork. I mean, all the I like to call it like the holy trinity of barbecue. The brisket, ribs, pork butt. I cooked all of them. I mean, I don't know what else to say. Fish, salmon, like local fishes we have here, also there.
Yeah. So it sounds like you've used it for absolutely everything you can possibly get your hands on.
When I can. I have 2 young daughters, so time is very limited to me. So it's always like scheduling, like submitting an application to the family that, hey,
yep.
Can I light the offset smoker this weekend? And
but you get like ridiculous amounts of hours in a day. Do you need to schedule it? If you're going to cook,
mostly
at silly o'clock really.
Yeah. It's because for the offset, I mean, sometimes I feel that if I'm gonna light it up, it takes so much space and fuel that I want to really like load it up or have something there. If I want to go easy, I will use one of the kettles.
Fair enough.
Hot and fast.
I suppose using the offset is like having a third child, isn't it? You've got to look after the other 2, and then you've got the third one to look after
15,
as well.
20 minutes.
Exactly. Yeah.
No. And I've made tons of mistakes. That's one of the reasons why I opened this YouTube channel. But I have, man, if you think of all the mistakes somebody can make in an offset, I've made them all.
Yeah. You've shown them all as well. I've watched a ton of your videos over the last few weeks. It's like, it's all there.
Yeah. It's a good thing though. If it helps people not make those mistakes, then
no,
that's
don't
what,
get me
what
wrong.
everybody's in
That's
for.
what I mean. It's totally intuitive. It's instructive. You're sort of like, well, I done this, but actually, if you try it this way, it's sort of like a corrective sort of thing. It's not. It's a totally positive thing, in my opinion. Like you should put it all out there. You see some people, they go out and they cook these lovely looking dishes.
I mean, when I started with this barbecue and I joined the Instagram and I was seeing people, grilling and having these amazing dishes, and then I try to replicate those at home and I failed. I was like, how come? Like, what's going on here? And it's like a learning curve, but not so many people try to like really spread the word that, hey, we all make mistakes, you don't always succeed.
No,
so I thought that I might be honest with that.
I guess that's where we all learn, isn't it? You make the mistakes, and I mean, if you help people not make those mistakes in the first place, they become a better sort of barbecuer in general.
Yeah,
you got to get it out there. You got to show the good and the sort of like not so good. It's how you grow. It's how you learn.
Exactly, and there's no shame on it. I think that's like the how to put it, like that people should be telling. If you fail, no shame, just learn.
I mean, you see some people that will make videos, and what they don't actually tell you is that they've messed up 2 goes at it. 2 lots of meat that's gone in the bin. And then the third one's perfect. Or some of the Instagram people that will post pictures, and you'll think, hold on a second, what's going on? That looks far too shiny, and they've just sort of sprayed it with oil.
Yes. Yeah, that's a little bit like tricky. When I was learning, like, why people's food looks so nice and mine doesn't, like, what's going on here? Then one day I came across this article, like how to make your food look like magazine. Then I read some tricks and I was like, okay, no, this is not what I'm chasing, frankly speaking. Yeah, not my thing, at least.
I'm not that guy, to be honest. I make it, I cook it, I plate it up. If it looks good, it looks good. If it's not, it's going to be tasty anyway, so it don't matter,
Yeah.
See, I'm guilty for it. I am one of those people that will sit there and piss around with my food to make it look. I won't go as far as like spraying oil on it to make it look juicy. I will, though, sort of, if I'm taking a picture, I will sort of manipulate individual bits of meat to make it look good. And then I've recently discovered burgers. If you just have a burger with all of its fillings, so say for example you've got you've made a smash burger, bacon, you've got onions and things like that. You take a picture of it, it looks okay, it looks good. If you add like sort of a yellowy burger sauce to it that almost looks like melted cheese, that picture does 5 times better than if it didn't have a sauce. So sauce is like a huge one for Instagram. People go mad for it, and it's just so simple. I've done the experiment with 2 burgers, both the same burger, one with like a barbecue, like a burger sauce relish, quite a sort of mustardy color, and it looks like melted cheese just pouring off the burger, and that one did so much better than just the plain one.
It's that heat. I know it's like a pattern. You can tell.
Yeah.
What type of pictures might be thriving in the Instagram, for example. Yeah.
It's the difference. I think that's the fundamental difference. In fact, me and Matt had a conversation like this off air this morning. It's the fundamental differences between an Instagram photo and a YouTube video. Yeah. As I've got my foot in the YouTube camp. I'm a YouTuber as a you. We've probably we've both got Instagram accounts as well, but I primarily see myself as 1, a podcaster, 2, a YouTuber. Instagram's just there. It's just there. And I've got a TikTok as well, actually, because I'm down with the kids.
I want to see you doing a dance,
Yeah. It's getting into it. But
you just got to just keep uploading videos of you doing 3 chinks on the tongs. I'm sure it'll go through the roof.
No idea. But equally as well, though, YouTubers, YouTube food videos, they're instructional. Yeah. Instagram pictures look amazing. They're fantastic, but you're getting the shot of the food.
You'll get the finished product and nothing else.
You rarely see the process. You just see the thing.
Yeah, that's true.
Mm.
I suppose the first place I go for any kind of instructional things is YouTube. I don't go to any of the other places. I go to Instagram for ideas, inspiration. So I'll flick through Instagram and go, I wonder what I should cook today, and flick through and go, I'll have one of that looks good, and then how do we do that? And YouTube's the next port of call. So they've all got their own sort of market or niche, I guess.
Yes, that's true.
We digress again. We've moved away from the questions and sort of.
Well, that's kind of the show anyway, isn't it? You know, you kind of get what you're signing up for when you come on here. We know. So let's jump back into the. So you settled in Finland. You sort of touched on the flavors over there, so it's all quite natural and stuff. Is Finland as a Nordic country? I've always thought of it as quite big on sort of pickles and things like that as well, and cured food. Is that the case over there? I've never been to Finland. I'm very curious about sort of like their food. If I'm totally honest, I'm not 100% sure.
Well, so no worries. Also, before I came here, I didn't know much about Finland, so no worries. Well, I think how to describe the diet here. Well, first of all, first thing I noticed is that they eat less processed food. You know, like they like to eat more fresh stuff, and the vegetable consumption, like salad and stuff, is very high. You see everywhere. Having those, and as I said, the basic taste is like very basic. You know, you just taste the ingredients. No hot sauces, no like disguising the flavor of what you have there. And if you think of the protein, fish is a big thing here. It's affordable, let's put it that way.
Yeah.
Chicken is more affordable, but fish belongs more to this culture. And if you go to visit somebody, high chances are that they are going to have salmon, one way or another. So I think that's like a overall picture of food here in Finland. But the barbecue culture as such is relatively young. If you think of the retail stores, there is only one local brand who is leading all the barbecue related products like wraps, barbecue sauces, and so on. And I think they are the ones who have created the market. And so there are other small companies who have followed afterwards. But I think back in 2014, for example, if you were going to talk about offset smokers here in Finland, nobody would even know what those are.
So how would you say the flavor profile of barbecue has been? Would you say it's been sort of following along the coattails of America, or is it its own sort of?
Well, I've been into a few restaurants of those guys that have been into barbecue a long time in Finland, and they are following the American profile. Yes, the latest thing I noticed is that now they are trying to diversify. They are trying to use more the local products and try to add them there. For example, here in Finland we have a lot of blueberries. So I've been seeing now like barbecue sauce with blueberry. There was one of those big guys here trying to make ribs with blueberries. So I think now we're trying to really discover what is the profile that fits here.
Yeah. So That makes it's similar in the UK. You know, we're probably maybe a little bit further along than Finland, perhaps, but everybody's looking for their own sort of flavour profile and identity, and obviously the natural thing to do is grasp what is local and what is natural to your area, because regional, or that is, in my opinion, the correct thing to do, because you want it as fresh and as tasty as possible. So why wouldn't you?
Yes, and also, the barbecue market is increasing here. We start to have more brands. I think now Pete Boss, like that American brand, and Louisiana Grills are trying to get into the market, and you start to see more barbecue cuts available in like supermarkets in towns. For example, for the Midsummer Eve, there were T-bone steaks everywhere. And I remember that 2 years ago, when I was trying to find those, it was impossible. I really had to go to some specific butcher to get it. And now we start to see the Wagyu beef coming. And the market, it's opening. Some people say that it's because of COVID, when people could not travel. Well, those who are interested in barbecue and putting money into the cuts, and it has worked out that well. So, yeah, I think it's increasing now in Facebook. There are a lot of groups that I belong, and you see all the time people asking what kind of grill I should get. Hey, I got like beef short ribs. How do I cook this? And when I joined those Facebook groups, we would get one post per week, and now it's like tons of people.
Well, that's a really positive thing to hear. To every country, sort of, the more barbecue, the better. So, and like certainly within Europe as well, which is encouraging. And sort of like, if I think of barbecue in Europe, obviously the Italians are big. You've got Belgium as a big barbecue thing. The Germans are quite big on it as well. A slightly different slant on things, and then obviously we got Norway, and now Finland. So it's
believe it or not.
No, not believe it or not. You're here, you're talking, you're telling us all about it. So, it's super cool.
Yeah, and we have some great guys here. We have a couple of guys who actually like quit their job a long time ago. They went to United States. They did like a trip there to get to know the culture. Then they came back, and now they have their own business and these huge offsets running. So,
no way.
Yeah, we have like couple of guys who are just leading the whole thing.
So now's the time to break into the market with your own line of rubs or and anything over there at the moment. Then,
yeah, don't get me wrong. I thought of it, but a little bit difficult to run a family 9-to-5 job and something on the side.
So you got to start. Everything's got to be a side hustle until you get running.
Yeah.
Once your channel develops and everything else shoots up, I'm sure it'll all follow on naturally. Anyway, you've got the tools there to use. You just got to develop it and get it into the market you need, or work your market out, and then off you go.
Yeah. One thing is that one of the barriers to this country is the language. I have been in many places in Europe because of my work, and here people tend to think that their English level is very low, when in reality it's very high. They understand a lot, and people here are capable of speaking, like day-to-day conversations. They are just like shy to do it. So if you are pushing, or if you are trying to open the barbecue market here, you gotta do it in the local language. And that's a barrier a little bit for me. I manage, but I'm not a native.
There we go. We got some top information in the chat. Marcus, he's just build slowly, then jump when ready. Sound advice, he's going great guns over here. Opened up his barbecue school. He was a guest a couple of weeks ago. He certainly knows what he's talking about, this guy. So
Thanks for the hint, buddy. Yeah.
Go check his channel out. He's got. You must. Are you on Country Wood Smoke Facebook group? He's the guy who started that. So go check that out. It's great page. Oh
yeah.
On the Facebook.
I just made internal note here.
You don't need an internal note. You can just listen back on the BBQ podcast show.
Yeah, sure. On my way to work, put the podcast again and hear myself talking. That's gonna be a bit weird.
You get used to it.
It takes about 50 episodes to get used to that.
I'm the guy who has to do the edit. It's weird. It is weird as fuck, to be honest. You sit there and you're like listening to it.
It's a bit of a mind spinner, isn't it? You listen to yourself and you're like, I don't sound like that, and then you kind of think maybe my ears are broken.
The best thing you can do is buy expensive headphones, and then you know exactly what you sound like, and it's like, oh god,
yep.
That's me.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So, next question. YouTube.
Yeah.
What made you start your YouTube? Was it just, to help people, or give us an idea of the YouTube channel, the idea behind the name and everything else of it?
Yes. Well, I think it's all connected, even though the name can be misleading sometimes because people think I'm a pit master, which I'm not. So when I opened the channel, I just wanted to document my barbecue trip, the learning curve. Mm-hmm. And I knew at the very beginning that I am going to make mistakes. So I might as well, record those to just share it to anybody who's even interested. So also, I thought this is something I have not said before, that it's also a good place to keep my recipes so that I can remember exactly how I have cooked something. And I thought, I got nothing to lose. Now the social media, internet thing is blowing. Why not? So then I just got my phone recording, bought some tripod, and I got it going. So so that was the reason. And then I thought that I would like to share what I have learned, because when I was doing back the gas grilling, when I started and I saw some tutorials and so on, sometimes I got the feeling that there was something missing. I would read the recipe, I would try to replicate it. Sometimes it went well, but sometimes I would even have, questions like, okay, this guy, for example, charcoal grill, he said okay, we're going to be grilling today at 200 degrees Celsius. I was like, how do I do that? So then I started checking his videos, okay, nothing here. Then I had to check other people on YouTube, and at least in my perspective, it was not detailed enough. So I thought, well, I might as well just do it the way I would like it to be.
Yep. Absolutely.
I
mean, if people get that sort of information better, well, I mean, clearly you've had to dig for some information, like for example, how to get your grill at 200 degrees. So if you can put it all in one video, it helps. Though you're not going to be the only person that's had to do that. So you've sort of made a central little place for people to go to look for tips and how to do things, which is great.
Yeah, I think there's no harm in doing that. So why not try? And absolutely. I don't know, I think you guys must have noticed already, but I think the barbecue community is very welcoming. A lot of fellows helping each other, and not even asking anything in return.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Yeah, I think so. I've got to be honest. I have learned tons from a lot of people. Randomly I would get comments on Instagram like, "Hey, it looks good. I have tried this type of cooking. It has worked for me. Maybe it works for you." And that's just amazing.
Oh, your YouTube channel is a great great channel, like Pitmaster on the way. Everybody should jump on and check it out. Go like, subscribe, check out all the videos, watch them all. I've done a ton of research on, not obviously because I'm interviewing you, but I've put the hours in, and it's a really good channel, to be honest. It's a really
thank you.
And you're growing really quickly as well. You're putting on, like, what, over the last few weeks you've gained a good sort of, I don't know, a good few subs. So like I took some notes at the beginning of the week, and I had to change them because your subscribers gone up. So you're obviously doing something right. You're growing pretty well.
Yeah, I'm gonna be very honest. There was a time when I started to get concerned about my metrics on YouTube. And I started to think, how can I improve what's going on? And then eventually I felt that I'm just going off the tracks. Like, what does it matter if I have, I don't know, 300 subscribers or 1,500? Why did I start this? And then when I got a hold of myself, then it's been just easier. And at one point, it becomes a little bit pleasant,
A lot of people get hung up with numbers on YouTube. Like, if it's easily done, once you fall down that rabbit hole of checking all the time, and you kind of almost get a little bit obsessed by it. It's best just to sort of like do your thing, get on with it, make good content, and keep moving forward. That's the best way to do it. If you keep checking the figures, it's just like sometimes it can get a little bit toxic, and you don't need it.
Exactly. You don't want that. No.
But some have you? This is a random. As a YouTuber, what have you had any sort of strange comments on your channels or anything, or on any of your videos?
Let me think. Nothing comes to mind, frankly speaking. I think people have been generally nice to me. I guess I'm just very lucky. Yeah. I cannot recall anything. I mean, I have seen very mean stuff, in other people's channels. I'm just usually the kind of guy that if I get something like nasty, I will just laugh. I don't take things like personally, because I know it's the internet. And once you put yourself out there,
you made it. If you got a troll, you're doing good. If you got your little hater, it's like, yay, go me.
We've had a few people do a few weird comments, haven't we, on our channel with some of the videos. We've had a few vegans posting huge essays. And we've just put thank you and left it at that. There's just.
How about some fire icon and then like steak icon? Oh man, it will kill you.
No, everybody's entitled to their own opinion. You know what I mean? If they want to comment on our videos and help our algorithm, thank you. That's all I can say.
I mean, the one I'm talking about, I'm not joking. It was probably longer than the video description. It was huge. The rant they went on.
It wasn't. Was it the one from Norway?
I don't know where it was from. I can't remember, but it was, like a few pages of the Bible just sort of listed out in the comments box. And at the end, I'm reading it. I'm thinking this has got to be like computer generated, because it doesn't make any sense anymore. Where they just sort of rambled and tumbleweeded into something else. So, but like Ryan said, you've made it when you've got people that will comment some weird stuff on your YouTube channel.
True, it is totally true. So why we're talking about YouTube? Do you think that sort of like where you're from and sort of like where you've been, do you think that's going to develop into a certain sort of style for you and your channel and the way you cook, or do you feel?
Well, this is something I have talked with many colleagues already, and I mean with colleagues I mean like guys from BBQ. And I do not know the answer. I would like somehow to combine everything I have learned and to put it into the videos, but I just still don't know how to do it. Like because I get the feeling that the more I know, then the more I know, I less like I don't know that much. Now when I go back to Venezuela and I see how they cook meat, for example, one of the most common like way of cooking or plates there in Venezuela is called meat in stick, or where I come from. And the whole thing is that you just put like the big chunks of meat in like a very long stick, and then you cook it in a wood fire. You try to have like low heat, and then you are like turning them slowly. But so now that I'm into the barbecue thing, I continue reading and so on. And then I know that it's not just about burning wood. It's about what type of wood you are burning. And then what makes it a little bit more difficult is the type of cut you are cooking and how often you are rotating. And there's like tons of things. So I don't know. I'm still trying to understand where I lay with all of these things and how I can connect them. And as I'm also learning from people here, I'm starting to get to know the guys who are doing competition or those who have been doing catering events here. So they can maybe illustrate a little bit the like profile they have here. So I guess for the time being, I'm just gonna try to share the things I have learned, and eventually I'll see what comes up.
What sort of competitions have they got? Is it all KCBS over there? Is it all?
Well, last year I think there was the first international competition here. I do not know who was like arranging it or so on, but we had people coming from the Netherlands, Germany, Sweden, and a bunch of local guys here. It was quite big.
Must have almost certainly been KCBS or maybe SCA, but generally they run all together anyway. KCBS and SCA, you generally see those two competition organisers. They generally run events together. If like one would be like you'd have the SCA on a Friday, then the barbecue competition would continue over the weekend, obviously, because you've got the bigger cuts of meat, or maybe the Saturday. But if I was to guess, I'd say KCBS because they've got a European sort of tour part anyway. So being sure, I'll have to look that up. I should have looked that up actually. I didn't realise you were familiar with the competition barbecue side of things in Europe.
Yeah, well, frankly speaking, I am just curious of how you actually do that. Like, what are they even looking at? So I'm just opening the website here, but I cannot really see. Oh, there is KCS. Is that what you were talking about?
Yeah, Kansas City Barbecue Association.
Yeah, I think they were the ones organizing it. But yeah, that was a little bit of a shame because I found out that there was a barbecue competition on the same day when I was traveling abroad. So I regretted that so much. Yeah.
Oh well.
It's always another time.
I hope so.
I certainly want to get out and see a few competitions when COVID sort of goes away slightly more. Just going to experience it a little bit more.
Yeah, and it's also nice to taste somebody else like barbecue food.
Yeah. No, definitely.
Yeah, but what you got to remember as well is the competition barbecue isn't. It's not something you'd want to eat. It's something you're going to taste, if that makes sense. You couldn't eat a lot of it because you'd probably end up with an upset tummy because it's all packed with lots and lots of flavor enhancers and all sorts of stuff. No, you couldn't sit down and eat a whole piece of you couldn't eat a full a serving of it, basically.
It doesn't really reflect, the backyard barbecue style, which is what I'm into.
So. It's a bit detached. It's almost like the F1 of the barbecue world. You know what I mean? It's just so out there. Everything's just packed into a couple of bites or one bite or whatever. But getting back to it, we sort of touched on your YouTube channel. So what would you say was your most favorite video you've done so far on your channel? or
My
your
favorite.
your best performing, or
I'm just gonna go now with the flavor and like the surprise. It was the smoked ham video I made. When was it? Somewhere in February or something. The video is not so didn't get so many visits, but man, it was absolutely good. I remember before recording that video, I have cooked ham, and it was good. So I knew what was gonna happen. But when I cook it this time, the skin got way crispier. I left it there. So when I bit that ham, I remember I was recording. The face I put was like priceless.
Yeah.
It was so good that I was like, I don't want to record. I just want to eat this right now. You know, because I heard the crunchiness and you know all the flavors there. And I was like, you know, forget it. Let's get to eat. So I think that's my favorite cook so far. It surprised me and it looked good, and I think whole family loved it. And of course, then I had like this, was it like 6 or 7 kilograms bone-in ham right there? So
that looked good.
Yeah. Nice. I'll tell you what
man.
I'll do. I'll dig that video out and I'll put the link to it in the show notes so everybody can see exactly what we're talking about.
Thank you.
Podcast.
Yeah,
so
that was
check the video out in the link below. Everybody, it'll be there Tuesday if I'm organised enough. I'm sure it will be. I'm getting stuff down. So, we're going to touch a little bit on your Instagram because obviously we're trotting along now. We're just hitting the 1 hour 7 mark. So tell us a bit about your Instagram.
Well, you know, the Instagram started, frankly speaking, because it was just part of the social media, and my wife was telling me you need to, you know, put yourself there because before this whole thing, I've never been like a social media person. I have my Facebook, you know, my personal Instagram, but I didn't spend much time on those. And you know, I think the whole thing started when I started to see that, hey, there are recipes here. And actually, this is something that I could try. And I guess that's how it took off. But then I got a boost when somebody out of the blue texted me that, hey, you know, I see you're cooking an offset. I'm planning to get one. What would you recommend? I was like, well, this is amazing. If I'm able to help somebody, you know, like that. And then one thing led to the other. Then I found myself, you know, trying to organize a little bit my burger so that it looks better when I'm taking the picture. And then on the other hand, I get people texting me, you know, hey, you have a video about this. What do you think? Which grill I should get? And it's also sometimes nice when some brands approach me and they're like, hey, you know, what do you think if we do some collaboration? And, you know, that I was not expecting it. So, yeah, that has been very nice.
It's always a good position to be in.
Yeah,
absolutely. And you're in a perfect situation to capitalize on that as well. Just obviously with it barbecue not being huge in Finland currently, people want to spread and get into different countries. So you're in a great position to capitalize on that. Yeah,
I remember last year, for example, when I started this whole thing, there was one guy here making YouTube videos in the local language. He was maybe, I don't know, 200 subscribers, maybe the same as I was. He was going a little bit heavy on the promotion side. He did have like paid advertisement, but now he just exploded. He made deal with Traeger and Weber, and the guy, I don't know, he must have like 5,000 subscribers, and it's just like insane because, you know, it's all of this pushed by this barbecue increase here. So right now is the moment you see a lot of now YouTube creators doing like these Finnish channels of barbecue food. So
absolutely.
Well, that's brilliant. But what you got to remember is that you're carrying how can I put it, like a global palette. You know what I mean? So it's not just the Finland. You've been to like obviously Venezuela. You can carry that through Canada. Blah blah blah. So then you've got like I really, if I'm totally honest, I think that's once you figure out how to get that into your videos, so that particular taste profile, you're gonna blow up. I think just because you've got that many options. You know what I mean? You'd be like a Swiss Army knife.
Yeah.
You're gonna. I know it's a funny way to put it, but like you've got that much more to give. Yeah. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does, and I totally get you. So thanks for that. Yeah, it's the thing right now, and a little bit funny is that in my family, as I said, my brother is the one who has been leading the whole cooking. So it's a little bit ironic that now I am the one doing this. He lives in an apartment, so he cannot grill, and he's doing now IT job. So he's telling me like how ironic, you know.
I see that. But,
do you get to see him very often? Does he come to you very often or not?
No, he's living in Chile nowadays.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but you know,
if you two you two got together and you could have like a a cook-off video, that'd be quite cool. From expert to backyard master.
You know, because one thing I have noticed, to be very honest with you, I'm the kind of person who learns by mistake. I am not like maybe naturally gifted when it comes to food. So I really need to work on a recipe, write down the ingredients and so on. Whereas at least my brother and some other people I know, they are more intuitive. They can already see that, hey, like this doesn't look so well. So even if the recipe is telling to put like this amount of salt, you need to put more. Or like let it cook longer. It's not looking the way it should. It just comes natural, And I'm the kind of person sometimes I'm like checking the clock. It says 2 minutes. I'm an engineer. I like numbers. I like the method. So I'm like,
goes against everything, doesn't it?
Indeed. So when I'm running into problems, I call him and try to solve it together.
Kent's just put a really good idea in the chat. You could do your videos voiced over in the different languages that you speak.
Oh, hey, that was a very nice idea. It didn't cross my mind before. Thank you.
You've
increased your target audience just by adding a different element of language to it.
Yeah, that's actually true. Thanks. That was very good advice.
Ken is an absolute well of information. He's a good guy. He knows his stuff. He knows the YouTube game. He's big on that. So what we're going to do now is develop it into, you could say, the standard sort of end questions. So what are the first one is as we're drawing close to the end of the interview, we're running 1:14 now. So what's the most exotic meat or food you've ever eaten?
Cool. That's a tough one. You really have to let me think a little bit about this one. Something that has blown my mind. What can it be? The first thing that came to mind was in Venezuela when we went to a Brazilian restaurant and we ate picanha there.
Okay.
And I don't know, it was like all you can eat. And the whole thing was like, you have some sort of traffic lights. Yeah. And somebody's walking. If you want, you put green, you want to taste, put yellow. Yeah. You want to pass red. And then the guy was coming with the picanha and I put the red one. Like, I'm full. And then he looked at me and he said, you might want to change that. I was like, what are you saying? I'm full. And he's like, I totally recommend you. Put it to yellow. I was like, yeah, okay, yellow it is then. And then I tried that. Oh, boy.
I flip it to green now. Give me all.
Like, green. Actually, just leave it here. Yeah, that was magnificent, to be honest. And
they've brought those restaurants to the UK, and they are incredible. Like
yes,
the food that comes out of there are just
yeah, it's amazing, And I think another opening moment was when I bought a what is it, like Black Angus ribeye here in Finland.
Ooh.
Because when I moved here, the first thing I noticed, like, meat is way too expensive. And then when I bought beef steaks, they didn't taste like home at all. Like they were missing something. Then I traveled to Spain because of work. And then I was like, okay, now these steaks, they taste a little bit better. They taste more like home, but still something is missing. So one day I just went here to the butcher and I spent money in good ribeyes. And when I grilled it and I ate, I was like, now finally I found what I ate back at home.
nice.
So that was like an opening moment for me while I was living here in Finland.
Yep.
Yeah. I don't know, did I answer your question, Ryan?
Kind of. Well, you give us a good rundown on what you liked. I was thinking more exotic meat. So, for instance, we had a guy he's eating whale. Another guy's eating udders.
Well, if you go that way, I mean, I've eaten very weird stuff. I've eaten snake because of my father likes those type of things,
Mm-hmm.
And I have eaten like kangaroo meat as well when I was traveling. Not my favorite. Still, I can eat it.
It's very lean
Kangaroo.
meat.
I was going to say kangaroos. I've not heard that one come out in the show before. Someone eating kangaroo. Snake I've heard before from our lovely friends in the States. Kangaroo, no, not so much.
Yeah, I was traveling and some guy was like, "You cannot leave this meeting without trying this kangaroo meat we have." I was like, "You know what? Bring it on. Why not?"
Yeah.
Got to try everything once.
Sure. There was one guy here. It seems he got, I don't know what it's like, crocodile or alligator meat, and also he got bear meat.
You've eaten bear meat. That's cool.
Yeah, they sell those here. Like if there is like a local market kind of thing, every now and then somebody pops in and they have bear meat.
I didn't even know they had bears in Finland, to be honest. So that's quite cool.
Yeah, we have many of those. And when there's the season, well, you can get the meat.
We can harvest them and eat them. That's good.
Yeah,
that's really cool. So, let's This is another one. So, what's your top three favorite albums or go to sort of music, or what sort of stuff do you like?
Well, I'm more like into electronic music. I kind of like the beat, and I like the trance. It's like very, how to say it, like, yeah. Well, like it kind of
that man is
how
very
to
much
explain
into
it. It's like a trip. How to put it?
Yeah, I know what you're saying.
Yeah, it's just like terrific. And then of course, because of my Latino roots, I like also like salsa and those things you can dance. So depends on the day.
Would it translate into some sort of nice sort of Latin beat house music, or would it just be more of your traditional salsa? Or
are you talking about the trance now, or?
Well, both, because like there's a lot of Latino house music out, or used to be.
I like the salsa and merengue are those styles that people normally dance. It's quite funny to see my neighbors. Sometimes they walk by and I'm just grilling and having the Latino music, and every now and then I dance with my daughter, so he doesn't feel the Finnish profile.
And then you got the trance music. What's that? Is that?
Yeah, and sometimes I just have my music here and I'm just like enjoying my jam while I'm grilling, and the neighbors were like, "What the hell? Yesterday you had like, dancing here, and now you are just there like chilling on your own." Yeah.
Well,
depends on the day.
That's how I roll.
Hardcore, trance, techno, Latino beats, chilled. That's not bad. That's not bad. Dutch is just piped up with your favourite. Also red or green.
I'll take both, buddy.
There you go.
Right. Hot fire round questions.
Here we go.
With the hot fire round questions, try and answer with the first thing that comes to your head.
Be my guess.
Are you going to go first, Ryan, or do you want me to go first?
Ryan's on mute.
I'll go first. That's because his little mouse is probably barking at him again. His mouse barking at you again.
No, the boys are having a fight. It sounds quite serious.
Oh.
Oh. Sounds familiar, when you have to stop and intervene
he's Oh dear. We'll just put some of that awkward hold music on in a minute. Technical issues.
Technical problems.
Technical teenagers. I don't know about technical problems. How could they could have a fight with themselves sometimes, I think. I'm sure they could.
I'm pretty sure you're right. Yeah. Bloody kids, who'd have them? Right then. Here we go. Into the hot fire round. So hot and fast or low and slow?
Low and slow.
Day or night?
Night.
Beer or spirit?
Beer.
Lump or briquette?
Lump.
Pork or beef?
Beef.
I think we know. I was going to say we know the answer to that one.
Ribs, wet or dry?
Wet.
Okay. Shrimp or meat?
Meat. I'm allergic to shrimps.
There you go then.
So wrap it or let it ride?
Let it ride.
Nice. Burgers or hot dog?
Burgers.
Horse. Yay or nay?
Huh? Sorry?
Well, you've got to do that one again, Ryan. You've got to actually make the noise at the end. It doesn't work
Horse.
if you don't do it.
Yay or nay?
I'll go with yay.
Good man.
A brisket or short ribs?
Short ribs. Yeah.
Man, I'm in the short. I'm team short rib too.
Well done.
What's your favorite non-meat thing to grill?
Pizza.
Pizza.
Nice.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah.
So,
And then now is your chance to add a question to the end of our hot fire round that we'll ask the next guests that come on.
which we have to answer.
Well, that's going to
I
be
forgot about that.
new question.
It always catches people that, and you're like, I gotta think.
Yeah, I gotta really think of this one. You already asked about the drink. How come nothing is coming up to mind now?
Have a think about it and then ping it across.
Whatever pops in there.
Smoked or grilled?
Ooh, that's a good
Smoked
one.
for me.
I like that. I think I'm gonna have to agree. Smoked.
See, remember what was we saying earlier, Matt? I'm like,
Yeah,
and you're like,
yeah, you're right. That's because I was typing smoked or grill into the hot fire round.
It's an interesting. The set of questions is an interesting dynamic.
Sorry.
Yeah, it's a interesting way. Some people answer them straight away, and other people give an example. So it is quite a telling set of questions. Well, not it's not mastermind, but just the way people answer it. I find it quite interesting, to be honest. You know what I mean? So
Absolutely.
that concludes the end of the quickfire question round. and it also brings the end to the interview. Thank you so much for joining us. Can you tell us all about your social medias and where we can find you and how to hook up with you if people want to get in contact with you and all of that good stuff?
Yeah, sure. You can just look me up in Instagram and YouTube, just using my name, Pitmaster, on the way. And I do have a TikTok, but if you don't want to see me dancing, then don't go there. No, I'm kidding. I open it and I'm not so sure can I keep it. Let's see. But yeah, in general, thank you guys for having me. It was like a lot of fun.
No
Just
worries.
feels like I'm talking to some friends. So yeah, this has been very nice, and you guys are doing a terrific job. I like your show, so I'll keep watching your interviews.
Oh, very
Thank
kind.
you.
Thank you so much.
That's what we
You're
do it
welcome
for.
back
As
on
long
any
as-
time. Welcome back on any time. Tell everybody. If you know anyone who wants to come on the show, tell them. Just
Absolutely.
send us an email or whatever
Sure.
message. We're happily talk to anybody because that's what we're all about. We're trying to help people grow and have interviews with interesting, good people like yourself. So yeah, if you want to come on,
Absolutely.
Pit Life, the barbecue
Wow.
talk show, hit us up.
Or if you want to
Okay.
go on Pit Life,
If you want to go on Pit Life
hit
Barbecue
Pit Life
stream.
off as well.
I'll tell you what, actually, I'll hit you up with a. I'll tell you why I said that. Yeah, I think you'd go really well on that show. I was just thinking in my head, like, yeah, it'd probably fit really well on that show, and it just come out my mouth. Sorry, but Mr. Mags, if you're listening, hit this guy up. It'd be a fantastic interview. So get hold of him and get him on your show as well. And you, Greg.
Thanks.
Hit this guy up. Yeah,
Yes.
Thanks for coming on. You've been a fantastic guest. It's always a pleasure to talk to you. And I look forward to talking to you again to see how your channel develops.
Yeah,
and all
thank
of
you
your
guys.
social media.
Yeah, wish you both the best. And
Right,
keep on
so-
grilling.
Oh, for sure. So what we're going to do now? We're going to run a little break, and then we're going to jump into the pub club. If you want to stick around, please do. If not, not a problem. It's totally up to you. We put a link in the chat. Whoever wants to jump in, and we'll have a little conversation. All right.
All right, I think I'll be leaving you guys. I'm traveling tomorrow, so I need to get some sleep.
No problems. Thank
Okay,
you
so
again
what
for
time-
coming on, mate.
Before you go, what time is it there now?
Midnight. It's 12 o'clock.
It's just gone midnight.
Midnight, and it's
Yeah.
daylight. That's
So-
insane.
Yeah, it's insane.
Absolutely insane.
And I don't know if you
I've
know-
noticed it's not quite as bright as it was when we
Yeah,
first
but it's-
started. Yeah.
It's fucking midnight. Look at it.
Yeah. And the sun's still out. Yeah.
Yeah, it's amazing, and it's gonna stay like this the rest of the night. I mean, it's not gonna get fully dark. This is it.
Oh, that's it.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
So maybe 4 hours from now, then the sun starts coming up.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
I've
like
that.
never ever, I've heard of it. But I've never actually physically seen it. So it's midnight over there and it's daylight.
Yeah, it's like magic,
But then in the winter, that's it. It's just
Oh.
they're sort of put into darkness permanently.
Totally.
So-
It's just dark all time. That is the top.
Swings and roundabouts, isn't it?
Yeah.
I don't mind that with my new hobby as well. That'd suit me down to the gown. Nice clear
Oh.
skies.
Yeah, I
Telescope
suppose.
out. Boom.
Looking in the
Oh, you're
neighbours'
welcome here.
windows.
I've never done that. I only look at the stars and planets and moon.
Yeah, those kind of stars.
Just clarity.
Ah dear. Right. Thank you again for coming on. You've been a great guest. Yeah. Again, everybody, please go over to the channel and hit him up.
Pitmaster
Subscribe.
on the way.
Show
The
some
links
love.
links will be in the show notes. So thanks again. See you soon.
Thanks
Bye.
to you guys. Be seeing you. Bye.
See ya.